guys, Tech here, and today we're going to be doing some Uberstrike. Now, the thing I'm mostly focusing on in this video, and it's actually going to be a series, this is going to be a beginner's guide to Uberstrike in a way. And the idea is, I mean, there is a tutorial for Uberstrike, but haven't really seen on YouTube at all any like in-depth guides for each type of weapons or strategies for different places you should be in Uberstrike for, like, sniping positions or ways to master Uberstrike or stuff like that. And I have a pretty broad knowledge of Uberstrike. I've been playing it for a while. Been playing since Paradise Paintball 1.0, so I've been with this game for quite a while and seen it adapt and change. So I kind of know a lot of the maps pretty well. And so yeah, this is going to be a little tutorial series, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are. This is the main menu. You've got play, guns and stuff, and training. Then up here you've got home, play, shop, clans, inbox, profile, and chat. So, basically how this works, training will give you a blank map with no players in it, and you can basically just run around it and shoot things. Kind of give your perspective of how the maps work without actually being in a match, which some people will actually take advantage of. Then you also got guns and stuff that'll direct you to the store, and then you've got play, which is self-explanatory. You go to the play mode and you can pick a server and pick a match. Then up here you've also got your name, and if you're in a clan you'll also see a little clan, the actual clan SIG, I guess it would be called. Mine is AOT, which is Army, stands for Army of 12. So if you're in a clan you'll see that next to your name. Then you've also got your level 13, that's my level. Whatever level you are, you'll see that. And the percentage is how much closer you are to the next level, which for me would be level 14. Then you've got XP, that's how much XP you've picked up. Or picked up as in, like, by shooting people, killing people, headshots, nut shots, melees, that sort of thing. And pretty much any kills you get. Then you've also got coins. This is how many coins you have currently. You get, you start out, I don't know exactly the number, but you start out with getting a certain amount of coins every time you log in. And if you log in consecutively, it'll give you 50 coins more every time. And then eventually I think it stops at like 1,500 coins. And so if you log in every day, you'll get more coins. Even if you don't play, you just log in and stockpile those coins. It's very helpful because then when you need to buy a big weapon, or you want to buy a weapon for a week or something, you can do that. Then you've also got credits, which is you have to pay for with real-life money or through these like little advertisements, service things, but those don't always work. So I wouldn't rely on that completely for credits, but if you can get it working, I mean, that's not bad. But yeah, you pay with these, pay for credits with credit cards, or PayPal or that sort of thing. And then you've got a big button, get credits. That's how they get paid. Okay, so here we are. This is the shop. Now this will have all your weapons, your armor, your items, anything that you can buy will be here. So first we'll look at the loadout. The loadout is the weapons you currently have equipped, the armor you currently have equipped, and the quick items you currently have equipped. Then over to inventory, we've got, this is basically all the weapons or armor or items that you've recently purchased, but even if they've expired, they will show up here. But if they're not expired, basically anything, even if expired, will show up here. If you recently purchased, it will show up here, and eventually they'll disappear if you don't decide to rebuy them. They just keep them here for convenience. And over to shop. First you're going to start out with new and sale items. This is basically all the new items, armor, weapons that have come out, and also popular items. As you can see, hot, that means the Vanquisher is selling it's a very popular weapon at the moment. And then you've got name change, that has a 20% off sale, and that's in this section as well. Then you have weapons. There's a huge variety of weapons in this game. You've got melee weapons, you've got handguns, you've got machine guns, shotguns, sniper rifles, cannons, bladder guns, and launchers. So we'll start with melee weapons. You get a splat bat, as that will be your permanent weapon. It does 85 damage, It's a fairly good weapon if you just want to start out, but eventually you are going to want a more powerful melee weapon most of the time. So you can buy Bradford's broadsword, cutter, all of these different weapons. But one thing to point out, there's a level lock. As I pointed out up here, there's a level. It depends on how much XP you get by playing the game. You will gain levels, and as you get higher up the level chain, it will become harder and harder to gain up your levels. So like when you're level 1, it's easier to get to level 2 versus where I'm at right now, level 13. It's not as easy to get to level 14 because it requires more XP. So the one thing also to point out, you don't need to worry about these level limits if you're using credits. If you purchase credits with real-life money from Simune, you can basically buy any of these weapons, any of this armor, without any level lock, because credits will allow you to do anything. Only downside, of course, you're paying real-life money. But with coins, you have to follow the level lock rules. So, like, for example, Bradford's broadsword, you have to be level 5 to use. And Uberhammer, you have to be level 20 to use. And not just use, but actually buy. So, like, see, I'm not level 20, so it says you need to earn more points to buy this item. Not only do I need to earn more points, but I'm not level 20. We'll move over to handguns. Handguns are a short-range weapon, mainly focus on no-scoping accuracy. They're very useful if you're good at lining up the crosshairs on your enemy, but past that, there's no scope on any of them except the Spiteful Stinger, which is a credit weapon. And so yeah, that's pretty much how it works there. But I mean, if you're good at them, then they are very beneficial, but they're not really the most popular weapon you'll ever see. Then you get machine guns. You come equipped with machine gun forever. This machine gun here. Then you can also purchase slightly better ones, such as the Shadow Gun, UMG, and Battlesnake. Basically, machine guns are fast firing weapons. They're fairly powerful, and they can cause a lot of damage very quickly. But mostly is used as a finisher weapon for a lot of people. But if you're a bit of a newer player, you'll probably stick with the machine gun for a little while until you kind of figure out which weapon you want to use most. Like, for example, I'm a big sniper fan. Some people are cannon fans. Depends who you are. So yeah. And then over to shotguns. Shotguns are very close-range weapons, but they're very, very powerful. For example, like you can get a one-hit K just with Death Hammer, basic shotgun. If you're close up now, the Oblivion Hammer, Thunderbuss, those are really, really fast weapons. Actually, no, Oblivion Hammer, sorry, that's not a fast weapon, but the Thunderbuss is a very, very fast weapon. And it's very difficult to actually fight against. But it is not as powerful as the Oblivion Hammer, as you can see there. That one does a maximum, will do 225 damage, and the Thunderbuss will do 130 max. Now, another thing to point out, shotguns are directly affected by your distance, unlike some other weapons. If you're closer to the person, the more damage it'll do. If you're like right up in their face, it most likely will one-shot kill them, depending on the weapon you have and whether they have armor. But it's a lot more powerful if you're up in their face versus if you're shooting from 10 feet away. And sometimes they won't even hit them, because it depends on how far away you are from the person. So yeah, shotguns, very useful weapons, but not for distance. So, sniper rifles. Obviously a bit self-explanatory, distance shots, scopes, that sort of thing. And yeah, they're very powerful weapons that you can use from a long distance away. They have a whole different variety of them, too. You've got basically two types of scopes. You've got a particle lance type of scope. This has no crosshair type of traditional feel. Like, for example, this Urdi has a more traditional crosshair, but the particle lance has a little less different type. However, it depends on who you are, but a lot of people like that. A lot of people don't. It depends who you are, like I said. It zooms you in. There's no zoom in. That's the only kind of downside to this. You can't zoom in or out. It's one zoom type. So that's kind of a bummer, but it depends, like I said, who you are. I personally like having a normal crosshair. I like being able to zoom in or not. And yeah. So that's pretty much, there's two types of scopes, and basically the snapshot, the particle lance, and there was one other type of weapon, but it's not here at the moment, the fusion lance. Those all have, oh no wait, the fusion lance, never mind. That uses a traditional one. It's like a particle lance, but it has a traditional crosshair type thing. It's only the snapshot and the particle lance will have the weird type of scope that doesn't really fit. This one even will have it, the Nefarious Needler. Nefarious. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and like usual, will increase in power as it goes along. The only oddballs in here will be the snapshot and the ordinator rifle. Those are really, really fast weapons. Their rate of fire is much improved over other weapons like the Liberator's 1300, and the ordinator rifle is 750. Sniper rifles 1200, that sort of thing, and then the snapshot is 500, which is really, really fast. Like it says, the perfect gun for an agile sniper. It's like really, really fast weapon. And as you can see, the accuracy on all of these is 100 because, you know, it's a sniper rifle. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Moving on to cannons. Now cannons, a lot of people use them to boost themselves up when they're not using a spring grenade. But they're very useful for kind of, see, I've never been a big cannon fan, so I can't really explain it perfectly, but I'll try my best. Cannons, they're kind of like, you know, jump and shoot type weapons. They're also the type you'll typically get in somebody's face and fire off a shot. Like this one does 65 damage, the basic cannon, which is fairly powerful, and if you get a couple shots off, the person's done. I know a lot of people use them, they like, you know, spring grenade and they fire a cannon shot, and sometimes they'll get your opponent. Has a wider blast radius as well, because if you're close to a cannon shot, you'll get a bit of a damage, not the full damage, like if you were hit with it directly, but you will get a little bit of splash damage on these. And yeah, they're very powerful weapons if used correctly, but they're a little bit tricky to get used to. But if you get, if you master it, it's very beneficial because it'll be a very powerful weapon set in your inventory. Next over, splatter guns. Now, splatter guns, I personally do not use them at all. Basically, they're a little bit of an op weapon. Most people would agree. They're like kind of overpowered machine guns. And they also cause a lot of lag sometimes in game. They basically fire energy orbs. If you've played Halo, you'll kind of be familiar with that. They're kind of like a copy off of that. And weapons like this, it's like really, really fast. A lot of people don't really like them against them. People like using them, certainly. They're very powerful weapons and very useful in certain situations, but they are a bit of a blinding type of weapon as well, because they kind of blind your opponent with all the energy orbs getting fired in their face, and so it makes it a little difficult to see the opponent, but they're fairly easy to dodge as well because they're slower than a machine gun, but they're a little bit more powerful than a machine gun as well. And then we've got launchers. Launchers are probably one of the least accurate weapons you can use. Basically, they fire little grenades, and if you're good at that, then it's great. Obviously, as you can see, it's fine here because, you know, the training arena, but anywhere else it's very difficult. But if you master them, they're beneficial. You can basically take out anybody with them. Though they're a little less common than most of the other weapons, you don't see it as often. The final word is mostly the only one you'll see as much, and that's because you can fire a little thing like that, and then when you right click, it's like kind of like a landmine, and that'll fire and blow up your opponent. But yeah, the final word is a little bit of a different version, but the rest are basically the same grenade launching type weapon. So yeah, that is weapons. Okay, so next up on the list we've got gear. Gear is basically all your armor, and there's also something called holos. That's basically short term for hologram, and it's pretty much what it says. It's a hologram type thing that will change your character's look, and will also hide any armor that you're possibly wearing, so it kind of will mess with your opponent's mind, supposedly. um, so basically you've got pants and coats and shirts. That's pretty much only things that will have AP on them. Helmets will not have any AP, those are just for looks. And same thing with shoes. Then we've also got quick items. At the moment there's only 2 types of quick items. 1 grenade, 1 spring grenade, or 3 spring grenades, which you can purchase for a certain amount of time. So yeah, that's pretty much quick items. Really small selection, but I'm sure they'll probably add something else in the future. And then finally we have functional items. This is where you'll buy a clan license. You have to be level 4, and you can buy one of these to form your own clan, which is nice. That, of course, that's assuming you get a clan going, but buy it for 1,500 points, and it's a permanent weapon. I already have one of these, so no big deal. And then you can also buy a name change, which allows you to change your name, but it does cost a fair amount of credits, so keep that in mind. And then we've got the underground. Basically the underground will have slightly changed weapons and other things. For example, like there's the battle snake normally. Well, this is the saber tooth here. It's kind of like a more powerful, faster version of the battle snake. It's really pretty ridiculous. But yeah, they have all these different names. The Juggernaut series, that's actually in the normal thing. Oh, here you go. Spring Grenades 8. Basically everything here is going to cost you credits, so Underground is for credit users, mostly. You can buy a Dark Vanquisher, which is a more powerful version of a Vanquisher. And that's pretty much how it works around here. You've got Dark Vanquisher, Sabertooth. There's a few different other types of weapons around here that are different. A lot of special weapons are usually located here. If you haven't heard of it, try looking for it in here. Sometimes they'll have it. And that's usually where they'll also introduce a lot of new weapons as well. So yeah, that is the main area you'll be seeing here. Next we'll move over to clans. So the way clans work, you've got a leader and you've got however many officers he wants to have. The leader can appoint officers, and then the officers can recruit members or kick members. The leader can recruit members as well, and they basically can do anything, whereas the officers can recruit and kick regular members. So as you can see, my leader is Celestial Divinity. Most people just know him as Army of 2. That was his original name, but yeah, he's the leader of this clan, Army of 12. And then you've also got officers like Sam 22 and Dark Force. And you can basically send messages and see who's on here. You can also private chat if they're online, and right there. You can also see how many days since they've been last logged in. For example, he hasn't logged in 3 days. He hasn't logged in 2 days, yesterday, and that's the sort of thing. Helps the leader and the officers keep track of who's been on recently. Make sure they don't have inactive members in their clan. Now the inbox, that's where you can accept messages, requests. You can receive messages. Though the messaging system is a bit of a pain. Not many people use it as much, as far as I know, because it's more like a boring email client where most people will just chat or use Skype. But yeah, you can send messages here, which is kind of nice, I guess. Then you've also got requests. It can be friend requests, clan requests, incoming or outgoing. Now outgoing will be as if you're an officer or a clan leader and you send a message, a clan request to somebody, you'll see the little outgoing thing here. And the clan requests, that's if somebody requests you to be in their clan. And then friends, you've got all your friends, people you've friended in this game, and that's pretty much how that works. I've got 27 friends. You can search them up, and you can also add friends from people you've recently played with or are online as well. So yeah, that's how that works. And with the friends thing in the chat, you can also keep track of whether they're online or stuff like that. So yep. Now the profile. The profile is an area for all your stats. Basically, these are personal records right here. This is per life, how many times you've killed somebody per life. So I've killed a maximum of 38 people in one life. I've earned 98 XP in one life, all that. This basically will have all the stats for that. And the weapon records for per life. I've got 31 shotgun kills. Sniper rifle kills is 25. Splatter gun kills is 4. That's funny. I don't use it much. Launcher kills was 5. Yeah, basically it gives you all the stats there. Then you got weapons. You can switch over to here. Oh, and also here it'll show you the amount of XP remaining before you hit your next level. Now weapons, this is by damage, kills, accuracy, or hits. Pretty basic. Damage is how much per point damage you've caused with each type of weapon. For example, sniper rifles are obviously a little heavy on me. I use sniper rifles and shotguns a whole lot. That's basically my whole strategy, is through those two. Then you've also got sniper rifles for amount of kills. I've killed 10,865 just with a sniper alone. And then you can add on to that as well. And then you got accuracy, percentage accuracy with each weapon. So I've got 73.4% accuracy with shotgun. Melee weapons is 54.5. Sniper rifles is 53.5, that sort of thing. And so yeah, that's accuracy. And then you got hits. This is how many times you physically hit the person with the weapon. Machine guns, obviously, usually is a pretty high one most of the time. Then you got shotguns, pretty high as well. And then you got sniper rifles. So yeah, that is hits. Then the amount, that is completely different. This is actually, it keeps track of all your items. This is actually a very new feature they have just added, I believe. This will keep track of your purchases for multiple weeks. For how, you say, for example, I purchased the sunglasses for a week. It'll keep track of it here, and it kind of keeps track of all your spending and activities. You've also got points, how many points you've earned, either through game or through login. And so yeah, that is profile. The next section we're going to do is chat. Chat is basically where you do personal chat. There's also the main chat, which is where you can just hang out with people, even if you're not friends or anything. So you can click over on the person's name. If they're not already your friend, you can add them as a friend. You can private chat them. You can send them a message. And you can also join their game if they're in a game. They'll also show their clan right along here. And anybody in your clan will show up in green along here as well. Then over to private, that is where all your friends are. You can private chat them very easily straight through here, which is nice. Then over to clan, this is where your clan is. It'll show you who's online, who's not online, and there's also a clan chat that you can do, which is kind of nice. It basically is like everybody in the clan, and you can talk here, like that, and everybody in the clan will see that. Though they won't get notifications or anything, it's just a general chat. Then you've also got game. As you can see, I recently played with JJWW in my clan, and he shows up in green like that. This is the history of all the people I've recently played with, so it kind of helps if you're trying to add a friend or that sort of thing that you've recently played with. Then you can also see the chat that was in the game as well, which is nice. So you can see good game, good game, and then a bunch of Spanish. There's a lot of Spanish players on here. And so yeah, that is the chat. Now, I'm pretty much going to end the tutorial here for today. I'll go into actual levels and stuff like that in my next episode, so stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. Oh, and also if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. If this video helped you out, feel free to like it, and yeah, that is actually it, so I'll see you guys next time.